Hi guys, welcome back to another vlog. Me and Mama Carrie are going to Portugal and Spain. We are meeting my friend Jacinda there, as she has been there for the last couple months, just kind of doing her own thing. So the first stop is Lisbon, Portugal. This is our first hotel. It was kind of set up like an apartment as we had the whole kitchenette living area, but you did check in kind of like a hotel. It was super cute and had a really pretty view. Once we were all checked in and Jacinda arrived, I did a little outfit change from the flight. And then we headed out to go get some tapas and drinks. And of course, some gelato. We did walk around for a bit, do a little bit of shopping, saw a couple of special landmarks that you just kind of have to see when you're in Portugal. It was the next day, and Jacinda and I did wake up relatively early to just go walk around and see a couple sightseeing things. Unfortunately, this day was cold and rainy and gross, but we still made the best of it. Did another little outfit change, and then we headed out the door to go get some brunch. And of course, we had to get their Cascais de nada, probably not saying that right, but we got that, got some brunch, and then took a tuk-tuk to a farmer's market. The weather did lighten up quite a bit, so that was nice. The farmer's market was cool to see. They had a bunch of cool clothing and other collectible items. Some other things were rather questionable, as you'll kind of see coming up here in just a second. But my mom did this little surprise gift thing, which was cool. Oh yeah, and here's that questionable item. I also did buy a camera, which was cool. After that, we walked around, we got a pineapple drink, sat at this cool little outlook area, took some pictures, and then we had a food tour for dinner. Don't ask me the names of the foods. I honestly don't remember. All I know is that we got this little charcuterie thing, some wine. I got to try some chorizo, which was actually my favorite part of the entire night. We also got to try some deep fried green beans, which were delicious. And then we got this fish soup thing, which was okay. And then this nasty shot that I don't even remember what it was, but it was not good. After that, we did get some port wine and some more Cascais de nada. And then Jacinda and I decided to go out for some more drinks. My mom did come with for one stop where I got an espresso martini. And then she went back to the room and Jacinda and I went out and partied. It was the next morning and I felt like absolute garbage, so my mom cut me an apple to eat. After a couple hours of laying in bed, we did get up and get ready and did a day trip to Sintra. Got some brunch first at a local nearby restaurant and then took a Grab or Uber to Sintra. Sintra is known for their really cool yellow-red castle, but it was Easter, so it was only open to locals to stay, unfortunately. So we did take a tuk-tuk, and he kind of drove us around and showed us some cool spots, in addition to dropping us off at this castle garden. It did close at 4 to enter, so we had to literally run to get in here, but it was super pretty, super gorgeous, and we were allowed to stay in here as long as we liked, as long as we made it in by 4 p.m. After the castle garden area, we did stop at a local restaurant and get some dinner, which was delicious. And then it was the next day, and we did a little bit more exploring in Lisbon and also traveled to Cascais. So we went back to this little area for my mom to see, took some pictures. And then we did head over to the original Cascais de Nata restaurant, and we got some lunch there, and of course had to get a bunch of Cascais de Natas to just eat because they were delicious. We also watched them make them from scratch, and then we did walk around and visit some other monuments in the area. After exploring, we did head out and go to Cascais. We took another Uber/Grab, and this is our hotel at this new location, which was super cute. It also had a really pretty view from the balcony. Once we were all settled in, I did change, and then we headed out just to kind of explore the local area. Here we stopped at a little park. And then we decided to head a little bit more into town. We did stop and get some bubble tea and some mochi, and then we stopped at a restaurant for some dinner. They both got fish, I got pasta. It's kind of what I was in the mood for. And then we stopped and got some drinks, and of course it was the next day. So today we did have a little bike tour thing. It was just on our own, but we rented some bikes.
I didn't really talk ever in my vlog, but now I'm talking because we're trying on ponchos because we're biking and it's raining. We stopped at this little store and found some ponchos. Oh yeah.
This is
nice.
Yeah, I like it. Looks it's better than the regular one.
I feel like a doctor right now.
Yeah, we'll see what they do.
Oh.
As you can tell, the weather was not the nicest. It was a little sprinkly, a little windy, but the view of the ride on the way up was absolutely gorgeous. But I will get to the next portion where it was not so much on the ride down. So after maybe about 30-40 minutes, it did start to downpour, so we stopped at this local restaurant for some lunch as we were exhausted and hungry and wet and cold. The restaurant was very fancy, but the meals were delicious, and they apparently did not care what we looked like, so that was good. Also, my steak right here was like a 12 out of 10.
I just want to say, this has been the most humbling experience of my life.
I'm gonna kill myself.
You should see, I'm wet. I feel like I just jumped in the lake. Yeah.
So it didn't stop raining, and we had to get the bikes back by a certain time. So we had to bike back uphill in rain and wind and got pelted with raindrops. We showered, changed, went shopping, got some McDonald's for lunch because I really wanted to try Portugal's McDonald's, which it was okay. Did a little bit more shopping, walking around, and then got some dinner, got some bread, got some tapas, got some pizza. It was absolutely delicious, and the weather became really nice. Day 6, we were traveling to Malaga, Spain. We did stay in Malaga the entire time that we were in Spain, which was for about 4 to 5 days. This is our hotel room. It was kind of like right in the center of everything, so it was a little bit smaller, a little bit cramped, but it was cute, it was doable, we made it work. We made it to Spain. It was a very long day. After a long day traveling, we were exhausted and hungry, so we just stopped and got some Mexican for dinner. Then it was day 7. Jacinda and I woke up early to go visit a castle. We picked up my mom and then we got brunch at this cute local place, walked around a little bit more, and spent way too much money on shopping. Also, this was super cool. They literally make fresh orange juice in Spain, like straight up from oranges. You'll see here that they're literally squeezing the oranges at the top, and it was super cheap and super delicious. I also had to get a Cool Lime refresher because they only have it in Europe. They don't carry it in the States anymore. Did a little outfit change, and then we had a tapas and flamenco tour. So we got some drinks, we got some food, and then you'll see later on too, we got a flamenco dance show thing that they do in Spain. After the flamingo show, Jacinda and I did go out to some bars for a little bit. And the next day, I did wake up a little hungover, and we went to this food market with all this raw fish. 10 out of 10, don't recommend if you were drinking the night before. But hey, I made it through. After that, we did have a little cooking class. The cooking class actually brought us to this food market beforehand, and then we went back and did the cooking class. We were making Spanish paella. I will say our rice was a little underdone, but the meal itself was good, and they also provided dessert. Got back to the room, did a little outfit change, and then we went to the beach for some sunset pictures, but as you can see, it was not sunny. Then we went and got some dinner. This bao bun was amazing. After dinner, we did a little bit more walking around, and then we found a local gelato spot, and we got some gelato. And that was the end of our night. So then we woke up the next morning. It was day 9. We didn't really do much this day, just kind of walked around. We got some coffee and then a cheesecake at this cafe. Walked around a little bit more and then got some lunch at this Greek restaurant, which was really good. About midday, we went back to the room, we got our swimsuits on and went to the beach, but as you can tell, the weather wasn't the complete nicest, so we kind of just hung out and relaxed for a little bit. Then we went back to the room, changed, and I was craving some processed meat. I needed my hot dog fix, so I got a hot dog. After that, went back to the room, went to bed, and we had to wake up next day to go back to Lisbon, Portugal. And by we, I mean my mom and I. It was just us two. Jacinda was flying out of Spain. So this was our next room. It was kind of out of the normal local touristy area, but the hotel itself was really cute, really nice. After all settled in, we grabbed some espresso and then went and got me my Portugal tattoo. I did get one in Spain too, but I forgot to record that. And then my tattoo artist recommended this local restaurant with a gorgeous view. So my mom and I decided to sit here for dinner. The food was super good and we got to look out of this view the entire time. After that, we walked to the botanical gardens and walked around for a little bit. Walked around some more, stopped in Albi's for some snacks, and then it was the next day and we had to go home.